on the 3rd of November 2024 at around 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. The South African Police Service received a phone call about a shooting which had just taken place at the Garden Route Mall, located in George, the second biggest city in the Western Cape province. The caller informed the police that a white man, who appeared to be in his late 50s, had been shot and killed by two individuals as he was walking towards his bakkie in the parking lot of the mall. The caller further told the police that the two hitmen were driving a white VW Polo and they fled the scene as soon as they fired a hail of bullets at the old man. When the South African Police Service arrived at the scene of the incident, they saw a body which was covered in a space blanket, laying face flat in a pool of blood, next to a blue bakkie at the mall's parking lot. When police removed the space blanket to see who it was, they identified the individual as 57-year-old Cape Town businessman Mark Lifman. He had at least 5 gunshot wounds to his stomach, chest and head. CCTV footage of the incident shows Lifman a few minutes before he was assassinated, leaving the Garden Route Mall. According to reports, he had allegedly received a phone call earlier that day to go to the mall, where he arrived without his bodyguards. A local, who is an employee at the mall, came out and said that Lifman was well known in the area. He frequented the nearby Fancourt Golf Estate, along with his security detail, where he usually played a round of golf. As Lifman was heading back to his car, which was a blue Ford Raptor parked right in front of the mall's entrance, a hail of bullets were fired at him by two individuals who were inside a white VW Polo parked a few meters away from him. Lifman was shot at least 5 times, and he died instantly on the scene. After the shooting, the hitman fled the scene in their vehicle. At around 12:20 p.m., a little over an hour after the shooting, the hitman's white VW Polo was captured by another CCTV camera driving into a field and parking the car in an empty, secluded area. After parking the car, the video would show the hitman getting out, putting away the guns, changing their clothes, and also changing the number plate of their car. This wouldn't help, though, because minutes later, with the assistance of law enforcement, security firms and crime watch organizations, the Western Cape Police would track down and arrest these men. The pair, Johannes Hendrik Jacob, aged 53, and Gert Johannes Bezuidenhout, aged 37, were questioned and then arrested by police near the town of Uniondale, which is located about an hour away from where the shooting took place.
Little that we know, but we know one of them was a member of the police, SAS, South African Police Service Special Task Force, who left the police some time in 1998, or between 98 and 99, this is what we are informed. And we don't know what he has been doing since he left the police, but what we know now is working for PPA Security, both of them in Cape Town, as security guards. So that's what we know for now, and other than that, this is what we're trying to also do our investigation.
On morning of the 4th of November 2024, the day after Mark Lifman's assassination, a huge criminal case was taking place in the city of Cape Town. Jerome Boyson, the alleged leader of the Sexy Boys gang, Andre Nuade, a self-proclaimed businessman, and also Igor Roussel, a former convict, appeared at the Western Cape High Court. The 3 men were facing a number of charges for the ruthless murder of Brian Weinstein. Mark Lifman was supposed to appear with these 3 gentlemen at the Western Cape High Court that day. This was because Lifman was the main accused in that case. According to the state, Lifman was the mastermind behind the murder of Brian Weinstein, a steroid dealer who was shot and killed in front of his wife and child, at their home in Constantia, Cape Town, on the 18th of August 2017. Lifman was facing 9 charges at the Western Cape High Court, which include murder, conspiracy to commit murder, as well as contraventions of the Prevention of Organized Crime before his death. He was arrested on the 22nd of December 2020 after he handed himself over to Cape Town police after a warrant of arrest was issued for him. At the time of his death, he was out on bail. During the Weinstein murder trial on the 4th of November, the state announced that they will continue with the prosecution of Jerome Boyson and the rest of the remaining accused. The state further said that they will not stop prosecution or withdraw charges against any of the remaining accused. On the 5th of November 2024, 2 days after the assassination of Mark Lifman, the 2 suspects, Johannes Jacobs and Gert Bezuidenhout, appeared at the George Magistrates Court. As they stepped out of the holding cells, they were escorted to the dock by heavily armed police officers. The 2 men were subsequently charged with the premeditated murder of Mark Lifman. The 2 hitmen asked the court to be held in solitary confinement until their bail hearing on the 13th of November. However, the magistrate declined the request. According to the Western Cape Police Commissioner, Bezuidenhout and Jacobs worked for a Cape Town company called Professional Protection Alternatives, or PPA. PPA is a security firm which provides protection and bodyguards for wealthy businessmen and nightclubs in the Western Cape. PPA was involved in a scandal in 2018 after it controversially ejected beachgoers from Clifton Beach, and members of the security company were accused of assault. In an announcement at the time, Lifman said that he was the director of PPA and that it had been his idea. According to the PPA's operations manager, Colin Adams, Jacobs and Bezuidenhout were not employees of PPA. He said that they were both just employed as independent contractors. He further said that, over the past 2 years, Jacobs has rendered ad hoc training services, predominantly for riot and crowd management, to PPA as an independent contractor. He said that Jacobs renders such training services to other companies as well. He also said that Bezuidenhout is not employed by PPA, but renders security services as an independent contractor as well. Adams denies that PPA had any role in Lifman's murder and said that Lifman had no links to the company. According to the police, more arrests of the people who are suspected to be behind Lifman's murder are expected to be made in the coming months.